So for question 13.09, we're given the following reaction. Nitrogen reacting with hydrogen to produce ammonia, essentially the Haber process. And they tell us at time 0 of this reaction, so before the reaction starts, we have a concentration of 0.3 molar nitrogen. So here's my nitrogen, and I've got a 0.3 molarity. I add that to 0.45 concentration of hydrogen, so 0.45 molar hydrogen. Those two react for 75 seconds, and after that 75-second time period, I'm left with 0.34 molar hydrogen. So I need to find, right, I don't know what the nitrogen is, but I do know that my hydrogen concentration is 0.34 molar. So we need to use this change in concentration of the hydrogen to determine what's the change in concentration of the nitrogen. So change in concentration, final concentration minus initial concentration. So my final concentration is 0.34 molar. My initial concentration is 0.45 molar. I subtract those two to see my change in concentration is 0.11 molar for my hydrogen. Now I can use that change in concentration to determine what should the change in concentration of nitrogen be during the course of that reaction. And I'm going to get that information from the balanced chemical equation. The balanced chemical equation tells us that for every 3 molar hydrogen that goes through the reaction, I would need 1 molar amount of nitrogen to go through that same reaction, right? I need 1/3 as much nitrogen for this reaction as I need for hydrogen. And we get that from the balanced equation, right? It tells me 1 mole of nitrogen for every 3 moles of hydrogen. So 0.11 divided by 3, and I see my change in concentration for the nitrogen is approximately negative 0.0367 molar nitrogen. Right, when I work through, molar hydrogen cancels out, and that leaves me with a change in concentration of nitrogen of approximately 0.0367, right? So that's the final answer, and at the end of the reaction, after the reaction's done or has progressed for 75 seconds, I'd have approximately 0.263 molar nitrogen remaining. But again, this is kind of a review of Chem 106 type equations and type calculations of can we use a balanced chemical equation, use the coefficients from those balanced chemical equations, right, the molar relationship between nitrogen and hydrogen in this reaction to, if I know the change in concentration of hydrogen, use that change in concentration along with the coefficients from the balanced chemical equation to determine what the change in concentration of nitrogen should be for that reaction.